Hello tribe, welcome back. I'm bringing back one of the topics that I've done before where we're not using the cards. I'm just going to be feeling through these books, which page I need to land on and what paragraph I need to read for you in order to help you in some way. Maybe there's going to be an insight or a particular sentence that you need to really hear at this moment. So this is a pick a card / pick a book, pick a paragraph type of reading. We're going to have 4 options here today. I'll put the thumbnail on the screen for you and let's go. Let's see what comes through. I'll see you in timestamps. Hello group number 1. Let's see what you came here to hear. What does pile number 1 need to hear at this moment that would help them out? Pile number 1. Okay. Can't You Make It Go Away, Chapter 2. By the way, this book is called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. Janet is still waiting for the fear to go away. She had always planned to return to college once her children were in school, but she now notices it's been 4 years since her youngest child entered 1st grade. New excuses have popped up since that time. I want to be here when the children come home from school. We really don't have the money. My husband will feel neglected. Although it is true that certain logistics would have to be worked out, that is not the reason for her hesitation. In fact, her husband is willing to help her in any way he can. He's concerned about her restlessness and often encourages her to fulfill her lifelong dream of becoming a fashion designer. So some of you may be looking at or may be facing with a particular fear about the next step, something that you always wanted to do, but maybe you don't have the courage. Each time Janet thinks about calling the local college to set up an interview, something stops her. When I'm not so frightened, then I'll make the call. When I feel a little better about myself, then I will make the call. Most likely, Janet is going to wait a very long time. The problem is that her thinking is all mixed up. The logic she uses automatically programs her for failure. She will never break the fear barrier until she is made aware of her faulty thinking. She simply does not see what is obvious to those who are out there doing it. Nor did I until I was forced to. Before my divorce from my first husband, I was rather like a child, allowing him to take over the practicalities of my life. After my divorce, I had no choice but to start doing things on my own. Small things such as fixing the vacuum cleaner all by myself brought me enormous satisfaction. The first night I invited people to my home for dinner as a single person was a monumental leap. The day I booked tickets for my first trip without a man was a day for celebration. As I began to do things on my own, I began to taste the deliciousness of an emerging self-confidence. It wasn't all comfortable. In fact, a lot of it was extremely uncomfortable. I felt like a child learning to walk and falling frequently, but with each step, I felt a little surer of my ability to handle my life. As my confidence grew, I kept waiting for the fear to go away. Yet, each time I ventured out into a new territory, I felt frightened and unsure of myself. Well, I told myself, just keep putting yourself out there. Eventually the fear will go away. It never did. One day a light bulb went on in my head and I suddenly realized the following truth. Truth number 1. The fear will never go away as long as I continue to grow. I'm not going to read the rest, I'll just read the truths. If you want to, you can stop it right here and read it yourself. The only way to get rid of the fear of doing something is to go out and do it. The only way to feel better about myself is to go out and do it. Not only am I going to experience fear whenever I'm on unfamiliar territory, but so is everyone else. Do we have any more truths? Truth number 5. Pushing through fear is less frightening than living with the underlying fear that comes from feeling of helplessness. And these are the 5 truths. If you want to, you can give it a read about overcoming anxiety, This may be helpful for you. This is a topic that we have for pile number 1. We're basically being shown for you right now in your life that there is something that you really want to do, but maybe you're allowing that fear to take charge instead of you saying, hey, I may feel fear, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm not going to allow this fear to dictate my life. I am the one who's dictating it. Sometimes you may think that others who are doing it, they're not feeling anxiety or feeling fearful, or they're not doubting themselves. We all do it. The difference between doing it and not doing it is if someone allows that fear to take over, or someone goes, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. I hope this was helpful, pile number 1. Maybe there is one more pile that you may want to listen to. Completely up to you. It doesn't matter how many piles you choose here, as long as it resonates and it helps you. And if you want to participate, type I agree in the comment section. I will come back to this video and scroll through the comment section, and I will choose one or a couple of you to read for. No need to leave any personal info in the comment section. I will reply to your comment, and having notifications on, you'll be able to see if I reply to you. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being here. Hello, pile number 2. Let's see what we need to hear. Here was beneficial for pile number 2 to hear at this moment in their life. What would be helpful, or what would inspire them? A story, a lesson. Here, let's find the beginning. Here it is. No matter who we are or where we come from, we all have our own journey. Mine began one April afternoon in 1953 in rural Mississippi, where I was conceived out of wedlock by Vernon Winfrey and Vernita Lee. Their one-time union that day, not all a romance, brought about an unwanted pregnancy, and my mother concealed her condition until the day I was born, so no one was prepared for my arrival. There were no baby showers, none of the anticipation or delight that I see in the faces of expectant friends who rub their swollen stomachs with reverence. My birth was marked by regret, hiding, and shame. When the author and counselor John Bradshaw, who pioneered the concept of the inner child, appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1991, he took my audience and me through a profound exercise. He asked us to close our eyes and go back to the home we grew up in, to visualize the house itself. Come closer, he said. Look inside the window and find yourself inside. What do you see? And more important, how do you feel? What do you feel? For me, it was an overwhelmingly sad yet powerful exercise. What I felt at almost every stage of my development was lonely. Not alone because there were always people around, but I knew that my soul's survival depended on me. I felt I would have to fend for myself. As a girl, I used to love when company would come to my grandmother's house after church. When they left, I dreaded being alone with my grandfather, who was senile, and my grandmother, who was often exhausted and impatient. I was the only child for miles around, so I had to learn to be with myself. I invented new ways to be solitary. I had books and homemade dolls and chores and farm animals I often named and talked to. I'm sure that all that time alone was critical in defining the adult I would become. Looking back through John Bradshaw's window into my life, I was sad that the people closest to me didn't seem to realize what a sweet-spirited little girl I was. But I also felt strengthened seeing it for myself. Like me, you might have experienced things that caused you to deem yourself unworthy. I know for sure that healing the wounds of the past is one of the biggest and most worthwhile challenges of life. It's important to know when and how you were programmed, and so can change the program. And doing so is your responsibility, no one else's. There is one irrefutable law of the universe. We are each responsible for our own life. If you're holding anyone else accountable for your happiness, you're wasting your time. You must be fearless enough to give yourself the love you didn't receive. Begin noticing how every day brings new opportunity for your growth. How buried disagreements with your mother show up in arguments with your spouse. How unconscious feelings of unworthiness appear in everything you do and don't do. All these experiences are your life's way of urging you to leave the past behind and make yourself whole. Pay attention. Every choice gives you a chance to pave your own road. I can't read today, I'm sorry. To pave your own road. Keep moving, full speed ahead. Group number 2. What is something that you're clinging to from the past that you don't want to change, or you feel that you don't have enough power to change? Is that exact thing that may need to be looked at. And that thing is like a shadow when it comes to your happiness or self-confidence. It's kind of chasing you. So that would be something to look at for my group number 2. What is that thing? What is that memory? Are we allowing it to kind of control our life, the way we feel, or are we ready for change? That change may not be very easy, but it feels like it's necessary for someone's sanity. It's necessary for someone's happiness. I hope what you came here to hear was helpful, and thank you for being here. As usual, look at my pinned comment in the comment section, and if you want to participate, type agree. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hello, group number 3. What do you need to hear here? What did you come to hear? What would be inspiring? What would be helpful? Group number 3. Let's see where it starts. Do we have a start? No? Okay, we're gonna go here. Before making a decision. 1. Focus immediately on the no-lose model. Affirm to yourself, I can't lose, regardless of the outcome of the decision I make. The world is a place of opportunity, and I look forward to the opportunities for learning and growing that either pathway gives me. Push out thoughts of what you can lose and allow only thoughts of what can be gained. Use the exercises in the chapter on positive thinking. Do your homework. There is much to learn about the alternatives that lie before you. It is most helpful to talk to as many people as will listen. Don't be afraid to approach professionals relative to the decision to be made. A few might put you off, but most will be happy to help. In fact, they will be flattered that you came to them for advice. Look for feedback from other sources as well. Talk to people at dinner parties, in the barbershop or beauty salon, the doctor's office, or wherever. People you meet in unlikely places can create a valuable connection for you in ways you never could have imagined, or they might give you an insight learned from their personal experiences. It is important that you talk to the right people. Let me give you my definition of the right people. They are those who support your learning and growing. If you talk to people who constantly put down the possibilities open to you, they are the wrong people to talk to. Politely say thank you and go on to someone else. One wonderful teacher of mine helped me greatly when he taught me the phrase, first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. Apply to the situation. If you discuss something with people who are insensitive to your needs, shame on them. If you continue to allow yourself to be battered by their words, shame on you. You don't have to continue having conversations about your decision with those who make you feel bad about yourself. You should talk to people who can support you with statements like, I think it's terrific you are considering ... Or, I think you will do beautifully at ... You get the picture. Why put yourself in a position to feel miserable when it's so easy to feel great? Also, don't hesitate to talk about your plans just because you are fearful that if they don't work out, you will look like a failure. Swallow your pride by not investigating as fully as you can you are cutting off valuable sources of information that might help you enormously. Remember, you are not a failure. If you don't make it, you are a success because you try. One of my students was concerned about being called a talker rather than a doer if she made too many false starts. There is no such thing as a false start if you are seriously committed to advancement. My first experience in the publishing world serves as a good example. Years ago, I made a decision to publish a book of poems I had written. Since I knew nothing about the publishing world, I started talking to as many people as I could about how I should best proceed. I took a course on getting published. I called strangers who worked in various publishing houses and was surprised that they were most anxious to help. I submitted my book to about 20 publishers and received one rejection after another, but I just kept talking about my career as a writer. I'm sure there were those who said, "Who's she kidding? It will never happen." Over lunch one day, Ellen Carr, a business associate and now a dear friend, and I decided to write and self-publish a short guidebook for women about getting a job. We were concerned about the number of talented women we knew whose fears of rejection and failure kept them from even trying to enter the job market. Again, I started talking about our project to everyone I knew, and again, a whole series of delays occurred that made some people doubt that the book would ever be published. But I just kept talking, as did Ellen, and we found ourselves meeting all sorts of interesting people who were invaluable in helping us with our project. And that joyous day did arrive when our books were finally delivered to us. It could be said that there were many false starts in my writing career. Not so. Each step along the way made me more and more ready to enter the field, even though the outcome may not have been in the form of originally pictured. And I certainly learned how to deal with rejection. Putting your ideas out into the world by constantly talking about them may create a few doubting Thomases. Yet, not only does talking bring valuable information, it clarifies your intention to have it to happen. Intention is the powerful tool in creating something you want in your life. If you want to continue reading, you can go ahead over here and print screen this. For my group number 3, you may be about to make a decision in your life right now, but you may be shitting your pants, and that's okay. The most important thing in this paragraph that it refers to is the connections. Whatever idea you have, whatever leap you want to take, make sure that you're talking to someone about it. And filter out people who are bringing you down when you talk about that idea. Because you'll never know what's going to happen until you try. If you really want to try, those people who are going to be helpful or encouraging will pop up. There is that saying, let me remember it. I don't know exactly how it goes, but it goes somewhere between the lines of those people who are doing good, they will never judge you. Those people who are doing nothing, they will judge you with every step that you take. See, it refers to someone who is not doing anything or not taking any risks or not improving themselves in their own life. So whenever someone else does it in their circle or their surroundings, they feel threatened themselves. And therefore, they may have a lot of questions. Are you sure it's a great idea? Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. What about if you're going to fail? Those people who keep achieving are the people who at one point saw opportunities instead of lack of it, and they rolled with it. So pile number 3, I hope this made sense and this was helpful and you've taken something from this. Go ahead and read my pinned comment in the comment section, and if you want to participate, type agree together with your comment and I will consider you when I'll get back to this video, and I will be scrolling through the comments. Alrighty, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 4. At first, I wanted to say pile number 3, so maybe some of you came from it or you will go and check it out. Let's see what you need to hear in order for you to get inspired, or for this chapter of the book to maybe give you a broader understanding of the situation that you may be in right now. Let's see. Pile number 4. Here we are. The amount of time and energy I've spent thinking about what my next meal will be is incalculable. What to eat, what I just ate, how many calories or grams of fat it contains, and how much exercise I will need to do to burn it off. What if I don't work out? How long will it take to manifest as extra pounds, and on and on. Food has been on my mind a lot over the years. I still have the check I wrote to my first diet doctor, Baltimore, 1977. I was 23 years old, 148 pounds, a size 8, and I thought I was fat. The doctor put me on 1,200 calorie regimen, and in less than 2 weeks I had lost 10 pounds. 2 months later, I'd regained 12. Thus began the cycle of discontent, the struggle with my body, with myself. I joined the dieting brigade, signing on for the Beverly Hills, Atkins, Scarsdale, cabbage soup, and even the banana, hot dog, and egg diets. You think I'm kidding? I wish. What I didn't know is that with each diet I was starving my muscles, slowing my metabolism, and setting myself up to gain even more weight. Around 1995, after almost 2 decades of yo-yoing, I finally realized that being grateful for my body, whatever shape it was in, was the key to giving more love to myself. But although I made that connection intellectually, living it was a different story. It wasn't until about 6 years later, after 6 months of unexplained heart palpitations, that I finally got it. On December 19th, 2001, I wrote in my journal, "One thing is for sure, having palpitations at night makes me more aware of being happy to awaking in the morning, more grateful for each day. I stopped taking my heart for granted and began thanking it for every beat it had ever given me. I marveled at the wonder of it. In 47 years, I had never consciously given a thought to what my heart does. And literally, when I'm reading Feeding the Oxygen, I want to breathe in. Give me a moment. Feeding oxygen to my lungs, liver, pancreas, even my brain, one beat at a time. For so many years, I had let my heart down by not giving it the support it needed. Overeating, overstressing, overdoing. No wonder when I lay down at night, it couldn't stop racing. I believe everything that happens in our lives has meaning, that each experience brings a message if we are willing to hear it. So what was my speeding heart trying to tell me? I still didn't know the answer, yet simply asking the question caused me to look at my body and how I had failed to honor it. How every diet I had ever been on was because I wanted to fit into something or just fit in. Taking care of my heart, the life force of my body, had never been my priority. I sat up in bed one crisp, sunny morning and made a vow to love my heart, to treat it with respect, to feed and nurture it, to work it out and then let it rest. And then one night, when I was getting out of the tub, I glanced in the full-length mirror. For the first time, I didn't lounge into my self-criticism. I actually felt a warming sense of gratitude for what I saw. My hair braided, not a stitch of makeup on my face, clean. Eyes bright, alive, shoulders and neck strong and firm. I was thankful for the body I lived in. I did a head-to-toe assessment and thought there was plenty of room for improvement. I no longer hated any part of myself, even the cellulite. I thought, this is the body you have been given. Love what you have got. So I started truly loving the face I was born with. The lines I had under my eyes at age 2 have gotten deeper, but they're my lines. The broad nose I tried to lift when I was 8 by sleeping with a clothespin and 2 cotton balls on the sides in the nose I've grown into. The full lips I used to pull in when smiling are lips I've used to speak to millions of people. Every day, my lips need to be full. In that moment, I stood before the mirror. I had my own spiritual transformation, a root revival of love, which Caroline M. Rogers writes of in one of my favorite poems, Some Me of Beauty. What I know for sure, there is no need to struggle with your body when you can make a loving and grateful peace with it. Now, what I want to make sure for pile number 4, it is not to say that you don't need to care for your body and just love yourself the way you are when your body is giving you signals that something is off. Okay? This is not about that. Your reading from the book, is about the self-acceptance, the way you look, the way you talk, the way you walk. It's not for my people who are suffering with something and saying, you know what, I don't care. I know that I cannot eat that much sugar, but I'm gonna eat it anyway because I love how I look in the mirror from now on. It doesn't matter how much weight I'll gain and what's gonna happen with my heart. So don't take this wrong, okay? This is about someone's self-perception that is a little bit twisted, crooked. This is about self-love and need of that. What is the root cause of you not being satisfied with a particular part of the body? What is the root cause of that? Go back. Did someone say something to you when you were younger? Were you bullied? Are you such a perfectionist that you need to look in the mirror and see perfection? Do you need to turn that finger to yourself? Right? What is it? Go back to the root cause and start from there. This is also for my people who have gone through this journey already. If you learn how to love yourself more, this is a big pat on the back, okay? I hope this made sense. Now, if you want to participate, read the pinned comment in the comment section below, okay? And type agree, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.